The following clip was recorded by a woman named Angelina while she was at the infamous Crescent Hotel in Eureka Springs, Arkansas, a place many believe to be one of the most haunted hotels in America. Over the years, guests and investigators have reported hundreds of strange encounters here, but what Angelina experiences is subtle but deeply unsettling. It's around 6 a.m. and she's enjoying a quiet morning on the balcony with her coffee when this happens. Watch.
Sydney, there's a ghost singing out here. I'm not even kidding you. Come here. Come here. Just sit out here. Just sit there. It sounds like it's coming right next door and it's not. Nobody's there. I looked. Just sit down. It'll happen. Are you glad I woke you up? What? Are you glad I woke you up? You would want me to, right? Where is it? It's supposedly coming from over there, but it stops and goes and goes. It's real. You'll hear it. Just sit and listen. Oh my gosh, this is so good.
If you turn your volume up, you'll hear the soft voice of a woman humming an old-fashioned tune, almost like something out of the 1920s. Now here's the strange part. She thinks about waking her daughter so she wouldn't have to experience this alone, but something tells her the sound would stop if she wakes her daughter, and that's exactly what happens. The moment her daughter joins her, the sound disappears completely. Angelina later writes, "I've had a ghost talk to me, grab my hand and poke my back all night long. But this felt different, exciting, but also unnerving, because when she checked, there was no one nearby." After she posted the video, several viewers shared their own terrifying and strange experiences at the same hotel. One person even pointed out that the balcony she filmed from closely resembles the one tied to the legend of the Lady in White, one of the Crescent Hotel's most well-known spirits said to have fallen from that very spot. Now, Angelina has concluded that something paranormal occurred here, but as always, I'll let you be the judge on that. What exactly do you think happened during this recording? Let me know your thoughts on this one. This next clip was recorded by a couple who prefer to go by their initials, K and T. After a year of silence, they are finally speaking up about the strange happenings in their home, like hearing whispers in empty rooms, doors opening on their own, and hearing sounds of heavy breathing just outside their bedroom door at night. But the strangest part is, it only happens when they talk about it. Almost like whatever's living with them is listening. At first, they tried to ignore it, but one morning, while preparing breakfast, they heard that same familiar sound. And this time, they grabbed their phones to finally catch it on camera. Watch this.
All right, TikTok, here's our door. Hinges to the ground. Okay. The handle up behind and down. Okay, that's everything. Can you close the door? Yes.
Can you close the door? Brittany, please?
They've had this particular door checked by professionals multiple times, even replaced it 3 times in 1 year, just to rule out drafts or faulty hinges. But after all that, and everything else they've experienced, they've come to a conclusion. It's not the door, it's a ghost. Now, they've contacted a medium to figure out what the spirit wants. Now, this next clip comes from a woman named Kaylee, and to be honest, everyone who has seen this video can't wrap their heads around why she's still living in that house. She's been hearing strange sounds, like something heavy being rolled across the upstairs bedroom floor, but what she captured on video one night says otherwise.
I know. I heard a noise. I know I did. It came from that room and this bedroom like it always does. Did you guys hear that? I know I probably seem crazy right now, and that's fine. That's valid.
Watch closely. You'll notice the door moving on its own, along with faint tapping sounds. At the time, that's all she gets on camera, but things only got worse. The next night, Kaylee records again, just to prove she's not losing her mind, and this happens.
Did you see that? I don't think I'm gonna go through that door. I think I'm gonna come around this way. Absolutely not. lock check gone wrong because I left that shit unlocked. It's fine though. Did you guys see that though? When I was on the other side of this door. Damn, that shit opened fast. Just gonna... One last peek in the living room. Okay.
After posting the video, she joked that it had to be her husband messing with her, but viewers weren't buying it. Some pointed out something Kaylee didn't notice at the time, a faint woman's chuckle right after she says, "Did you see that?" Others mention how there were no footsteps or shadows visible, and if someone had actually been nearby, there should have been some kind of movement or they could have heard footsteps. But the most unsettling thing was the fact that she had dolls. Viewers couldn't shake the feeling that something was off, especially with the way the dolls were positioned and the way they looked. A few days later, Kaylee is meditating upstairs in her usual chair when a strange, low-pitched vibration starts out of nowhere. She tries to ignore it, but after 2 minutes, it doesn't stop, so she gets up to investigate. That's when she sees this.
I have fucking goosebumps. This has never happened before. Ever. I was meditating right there like I always do. What the I'm genuinely so freaked out. I never get freaked out like this. What the f?
A candle holder, vibrating all on its own. There's no fan, no heater, no air current, nothing that could explain it, but it doesn't stop there. What happens next takes things to a whole new level. You'll notice that nothing else in the room is moving, which rules out a draft. But more than what she could see, Kaylee also says that in that moment, she could feel a heavy presence, like someone was standing right behind her, but she was home alone. She has been finding ways to rationalize the strange events that have been happening in her house, but this time, she had nothing. And from this moment, the activity in the house escalated. She couldn't sleep, became restless, and night after night, the tension in the house only grew. Finally, one evening, she decides to sleep in a specific Airbnb room where the activity tends to spike, and to record everything. This is what she captures.
Betsy. Where is it? It was on the floor last time. I couldn't find it. Do you guys see it? And I'm just blind. Not sure where that came from. Is a sign. And no, I don't know why this W is here. It was there when we moved in. Perfect.
The tapping started again. Sharp, deliberate, and too consistent to be written off as water pipes or heating systems. What's even more disturbing is that the tapping sounds match the ones she's heard before, particularly in the downstairs living room. But what really unsettled viewers came later when Kaylee opened the attic, the creepy-looking doll that sat alone on the blanket. Kaylee even gave it a name, Betsy, and apparently in a previous clip she shared, there was a chain line on the blanket next to Betsy. But now, it had completely vanished. Many viewers, however, commended her for being brave enough to even enter that attic, especially at night, and for the fact that with all the strange activities going on in this house, Kaylee and her husband still feel oddly at peace in the home. They've received countless messages urging them to leave, to cleanse the space, even to burn sage and get rid of the dolls. but according to them, something about the energy feels innocent. Like whatever's there doesn't want to hurt them, it's just part of the home and they're willing to coexist with it. We wish them luck and hope whatever is living in that house continues to mean no harm. In the following video, Kyle was getting ready to head out with his fiancée when something strange caught his attention. Now, according to Kyle, unusual things have been happening around his house for a while now. Aggressive banging, the creepy sound of children laughing, and things moving right in front of his eyes. Every time something truly strange happened, Kyle wasn't always able to record it, but this day, he was prepared. Have a look. After closing the door, a low, deep growling starts echoing from inside. Then the lights begin to flicker, quickly followed by bizarre sounds that he can't quite explain. It gets worse when what sounds like knocking begins, but no one's in the room. Kyle believes something or someone didn't want them leaving the house, but what happened next felt less like a warning and more like a threat.
Let's go smoke. Damn. I don't think I should have burned that book, yo. I keep hearing something.
He only noticed it later, while reviewing the footage, that there was a distorted voice, almost like a whisper layered beneath the noise. And if you look closely, his cat clearly senses it too. It runs, then starts moving like it's tracking something invisible. Then the knocking sound starts again, louder this time, so Kyle tries to trace it, moving from room to room. And then he opens a door with a distinctive creak. If you listen closely right after that, you'll hear faint voices. Some viewers say it sounds like someone speaking, others say it's unintelligible, but whatever it is, it's enough to rattle anyone. Also, earlier in the video, Kyle casually mentioned something odd, a book he shouldn't have burned, and that might be where all of this started. Here's the backstory. He found an old, worn Raggedy Ann book stuffed deep inside a closet that looked ancient and creepy, so he got rid of it by burning it. But ever since that day, the activity in the house has only intensified. Shadows would appear briefly at the corner of his vision, only to vanish the moment he looked directly at them. Kyle is now convinced that destroying the book didn't get rid of the energy tied to it, it released it. And honestly, that tracks with what many believe about burning objects tied to spiritual energy. The belief is that burning strange or cursed objects doesn't destroy them, it releases the energy trapped inside. If that's true, Kyle may have accidentally set something free. Some viewers are convinced he's dealing with a haunting, possibly even something darker like a demon. Others think there might be another explanation entirely, but as with many of these cases, this one remains a mystery. The following video was captured by Liv one quiet Saturday evening while she was home alone with her cat. For weeks now, at exactly 7:33 p.m., she would hear scratching sounds. Not the usual kind you dismiss as pipes or rodents, but deep, deliberate scraping, as if something was trying to claw its way through the walls. On some nights, the doorknobs would rattle, lights would flicker in quick bursts, and the cat would stare into corners as if it's following something invisible. One evening, Liv finally set up her phone to record, and this is what she caught. If you turn your volume up and listen carefully, you'll hear the chilling sound of scratches coming from inside the walls. Then, suddenly, objects begin to fall from shelves like a force was shaking the place from the inside out. Now, here's where it gets weird. People are asking why the cat wasn't reacting, and honestly, it's a fair question. But sometimes animals, especially cats, can grow desensitized to long-term spiritual presences, especially if they've been exposed repeatedly. Some experts even believe the spirit may have attached itself to the cat, which could explain its eerie calmness. Liv isn't taking any more chances, so she's made an appointment to have the house cleansed, and because the activity keeps escalating, she has also contacted a private investigator to dig into the house's history. The following clips were recorded by Linda, who has been experiencing strange and unexplained activity in her home. And the strange part? It only ever happens when she's completely alone. For weeks, she brushed it off as her imagination, until the sounds became impossible to ignore, and it kept happening week after week. She decided to set up a camera, and this is what she captured. You can hear heavy footsteps running up and down the stairs like someone's pacing in a hurry, but she is completely alone, and this strange sound usually lasts for about 20 minutes, and then everything goes still. This disturbing activity continued for weeks, growing worse with time, and at one point, it was not just one staircase, it was every staircase in the house, like the entity had grown bolder or multiplied.
You guys, I'm hearing it again, but from downstairs this time. Nope.
Some skeptics tried to discredit her claim, saying the stairs weren't fully shown in the clips. So, the next time it happened, Linda made sure to record the entire stairs.
I keep hearing somebody walk up and down my stairs, but there is obviously nobody there. There's nothing there. And it keeps coming up and down, up and down.
Now here's what makes this truly terrifying. Hearing running footsteps with no visible source is often linked to residual hauntings. It's a replay of something traumatic, usually tied to moments of panic, flight, or even death. It's like the spirit is stuck, reliving its final moments again and again. And now, Linda has admitted that she no longer feels safe staying in the house alone, so she's sent her footage to a ghost hunter, and an investigation is already underway. We wish her luck. This next clip is about Luke, who recently lost his soul dog, his best friend, over a month ago, and according to him, not a single day passes without thinking of that dog. But last week, his home security cameras caught something strange. Luke says this isn't the first time he's felt his dog trying to reach out, and viewers quickly picked up on something strange when they looked closely at the little dog sitting on the couch. The way its ears suddenly perked up, like it heard something too. And this wasn't an isolated event. Luke has heard the jingle of his late dog's collar in the hallway, despite it being tucked away in a drawer. And once, he swears he heard the distinct tapping of claws across the tiles, the exact sound his dog used to make when it walked into the room. With all that's been happening, Luke can't bring himself to believe it's just coincidence. He's convinced his best friend's spirit is still watching over him, letting him know he's not really gone. And honestly, maybe he's right. A guy named Marcus has been dealing with something far worse than nightmares. For months now, he's been jolted out of sleep by violent, unexplainable events happening right inside his room. We're talking drawers yanked open with force, chairs flung to the side, loud bangs against the wall, and sometimes his blankets being pulled off in the middle of the night. On more than one occasion, objects have flown off shelves and deep scratches have appeared on his bedroom wall. Scratches he didn't make. So one night, determined to prove he wasn't losing his mind, Marcus set up a camera while he slept, and this is what he caught.
In the name of Jesus Christ, I ask you to leave this house this instant. In the name of Jesus Christ, I ask you to leave this house.
He lives completely alone, and his bedroom is always locked from the inside before he sleeps, so there's no possible way anyone else could have been in that room. And with the force and aggression of the entity causing these activities, there's no other reason than the presence of a demon. Marcus sent the footage to his family priest, and thankfully, they've scheduled a day for serious prayers and cleansing. We wish him luck in banishing this tormenting spirit. A young mother named Grace has always believed her late husband still watches over their daughter, Emma, who was just a month old when he passed. From lights flickering on during their bedtime routines, to Emma giggling and reaching out toward empty spaces as if someone were there, Grace has experienced enough to believe he visits. One night, she finally caught this on camera.
Go show mama. Go show mommy.
You can see little Emma sobbing uncontrollably, stretching her arms, pointing toward her dad's photo. And whenever she does this, she doesn't calm down until she's holding it in her hands. This video touched so many hearts, and the comments were flooded with people sharing their own emotional experiences and moments they also felt the presence of someone they lost. Have you ever felt something like that? A visit? Or a sign? Because sometimes, all it takes is one moment like this to believe they're still out there. Dan and his wife had just moved into a new apartment, and they were excited to start their family and build memories in their new home. But from day one, the apartment had other plans. It's either the light, the tap turning on in the middle of the night, things falling off shelves that no one touched, gentle footsteps when no one was walking, and sometimes soft humming coming from the hallway. Most visitors brushed it off as poor construction or plumbing issues, but Dan and his wife could feel it wasn't structural, but spiritual. After a few months, they reached out to a medium, and that's when they discovered the truth. According to the medium, the spirit in the apartment was that of a young child who once lived there, the son of the original owners, and he meant no harm. With that knowledge, the couple chose to stay, and they even did a few protective rituals around the house, just in case the spirit decides to be violent. Now, years later, even with kids of their own, the family still lives in the home, and they've grown quite fond of their ghostly roommate. Take a look at what this family has to keep up with living with a ghost.
Get a tissue!
Don't yell like that.
I was putting myself on a nose, but I
Look at
wasn't
me.
picking.
First of all, don't raise your voice like that. It's inappropriate. And see, now the ghost is very upset.
Don't do that.
That and there's no ghost in here.
Well, I don't know.
Dan and his wife are still trying to convince their kids that there is a ghost living with them, but the children aren't buying it. They think it's all one big joke, and the parents don't mind, as long as the kids can still laugh it off and don't start waking up from nightmares. They're willing to let them believe whatever makes them feel safe. I agree, not many people can handle living with a ghost, but Dan and his family, they don't seem to mind, so we wish them luck and hope they know exactly what they're doing. The following clips were recorded by Kyle Anthony after weeks of claiming his house was haunted, claims none of his close friends or family members took seriously. According to them, it was just stress, or maybe the pipes, but Kyle and his fiancée had been experiencing some truly disturbing things, like utensils clattering in locked drawers, the smell of burning hair with no fire in sight, and strange whispers they could only hear when the lights went out. One night, when Kyle was getting ready for bed, the activity got worse. He was just about to turn off the lights when he heard a violent bang from the attic. It wasn't the kind of creak you'd expect from an old house, but a forceful, frantic pounding, like someone or something was trying to break through the attic door. This time, Kyle made sure he went with his phone, and this is what he captured.
Alright, for any of y'all who don't believe that this is real, then I'm just making it up. I'm about to prove it to you. There's nothing up here. There's nothing up here. Told you.
The force of whatever entity causing this was more than just aggressive, it was invasive. And such violent contacts are often a warning sign the spirit isn't just there, it's asserting its right or declaring ownership. When Kyle got inside the attic, every step he took inside the attic felt like something was waiting. And when he posted the clip online, viewers noticed something he didn't. A glowing orb moving across the screen just before the clip ended. That orb was the confirmation many needed to believe the attic wasn't empty. There was a spirit roaming. But it wasn't just the attic. Every night since then, a strange banging sound would echo from outside, always around the same time, and always from the same direction. One morning, the sound woke them up again, so Kyle stepped outside with his phone, and this is what he saw.
Alright, we woke up to the banging sound outside of our bedroom again. It sounded like it was coming from outside, yet again. But I think I know where it's coming from, so I'm going to show you. Right there. I think it's coming from there. Something is banging on that. It's happened, it happened last night, it happened 2 nights ago. That's our bedroom window right there. I hope there's nothing trapped in there, a raccoon, I don't know. But it's been freaking us out, waking us up. So we're gonna take a look. Goodness gracious. I can't see very far down there. Let me see if my light helps. I can't see all the way to the end, but I don't see anything. And that goes around a corner. if I can even fit between the blocks in that pipe. But I guess we're gonna have to take a look in there. Fuck.
The crawl space was completely empty with no raccoons and no rats, but Kyle knew what this meant. If there was no animal and it wasn't faulty construction, something else was definitely inside his house. Kyle tried to live with it, hoping it would stop, but the activity only escalated. One night, multiple events happened at once. Unexplainable footsteps, appliances switching on, and a door slamming shut when no one was near.
I did not notice that this door opened by itself. I did not notice. I was just trying to get the heck out of here. And to those of y'all that are asking, did I leave my fiance in the house by herself? No, I did not. She was waiting for me on the porch. I told her that when I got in the car, I was gonna film a TikTok really quick. So she went out and waited on the front porch while I backed the car out of the garage. I would not leave her here by herself on a night when this place is lit up like a rave with lights flickering and doors rattling and all that crap. Of course I wouldn't do that. But, I mean, I guess it's understandable that y'all were asking about it. But no. And I have not been in there. I haven't been in this little utility room yet. It's just the water heater and a bunch of junk. There's not going to be anything in there, but let's have a look. Let's have a look real quick. How about it? Into the darkness we stick our freaking hand. Yeah, nothing there. Junk. Bunch of junk. Greatest TikTok of all time, right?
The energy in this room was noticeably stronger, and it could be that whatever's haunting the house is connected to an event that happened here in the past. Or Kyle may have unknowingly brought something cursed into the house, like a thrifted object, or a secondhand piece of furniture. And we know how these things carry dark energy. Things took a disturbing turn days later, and this time, it wasn't just the banging anymore.
Alright, I am home alone, and I am hearing a little kid laughing in the basement. And I do not have children. This is freaking me out. Yeah, you hear it too? Go. Move. I'll try to go down there. Oh God, let's see if we hear it. Goodness gracious. Shit. Do you hear that? Oh my God, that's freaky. I don't have children. And I'm home alone. My fiance just went with her sister to the mall. I don't hear it anymore now. Goodness gracious.
If you listen closely, you'll hear the creepy sound of children laughing, and even the cats are visibly agitated. Sometimes hearing children laughing, especially when there are no children around, can be a dark spirit pretending to be something innocent to lure you in before revealing their true form. Kyle has not been able to have one single peaceful night without something strange happening, and it was getting impossible to dismiss it as a coincidence. One night, Kyle tried to get some sleep, praying nothing would happen. But something woke him up. Other than what you just saw in the clip, if you look closely, you'll see a faint pulsing light in the glass jar sitting on top of the TV stand, almost like something alive trapped inside, or a contained energy trying to manifest. Experts say when spirits grow bold enough to interfere with light, especially enclosed light, they've grown stronger. And this was really the case because after this night, it became worse.
This is freaking crazy. Check this out. That knocking is happening in the attic. Listen to that. Gosh dang it. The light just keeps... Why is this my life? Yo, this is driving me nuts. It's just constant. I don't know what to do. I just do not know what to do. Goodness.
When an expert reviewed this footage, they pointed out something bizarre. The knocks followed a pattern. 9 knocks, then 14. That's I and N in the alphabet for in. Was it trying to say it was inside, or was it inviting Kyle in? Some believe it was trying to possess a space, or even a person. Others pointed out the eerie synchronicity between the knocking and Kyle's emotions, as if the spirit was feeding off his fear. At this point, Kyle was torn between 2 horrifying possibilities. Either something was trying to torment him, or it was desperately trying to say something. But how do you tell the difference? He has tried everything. Salt across the doorways, iron nails near the windows, even burning sage, and it helped for a week until this happened.
I'll watch this and tell me if you see what I see. Well, I thought we had a quiet night, Shelley. Thought we had a quiet night. It was a quiet night. Everything just stopped. Here, play with that.
If you look closely toward the bottom left corner, you'll see a shadowy figure moving, and if you keep watching, you'll see something even worse. The small box was moving. After Kyle posted this clip, viewers were seriously worried, not just about the spirit, but about Kyle's safety. Many warned him that keeping objects like that doll could lead to possession, or even spiritual attachment that follows him outside the house, and they're not wrong. Others are convinced the doll is the source of all the activities, and that the spirit might stop playing games and become hostile. And judging by how things have been escalating, they might be right, because this kind of activity doesn't fade, it grows. Kyle has reached out to a ghost hunter, and the full footage has been sent in for professional review. Hopefully, they'll be able to pinpoint exactly what's been causing the surge in activity and how to get rid of it. But from everything we've seen, I don't have any doubt. There's a ghost in that house. This next clip was recorded by Sammy, who had been sensing something strange in her home for weeks now. At first, it was small things like the lights flickering at midnight, the sound of someone pacing in the hallway when she was home alone, and an icy breeze that always seemed to pass through the living room without warning. But what really convinced her that something wasn't right was her dog. Sammy's dog had always been calm, but lately it had started growling at empty corners, barking aggressively toward the hallway, refusing to enter certain rooms entirely, and even barking furiously at the empty chair that sat facing her bed. Sammy brushed it off at first, until one evening her dog refused to enter her room, and when her dog finally did, this was what happened. People say if you have a chair facing your bed, the dead come to sit and watch while you sleep. And if you leave a mirror facing your bed, you open a portal between this world and theirs. But Sammy isn't too bothered by these warnings. In fact, she welcomes the idea because she's been connecting with spirits since she was 4. But she agrees something was different about this night, so in her next clip, she revealed something deeply personal. Sammy believes it could be her twin brother who her mother lost during pregnancy, and the timing made it more convincing. That night was their birthday, so it felt too timed to be a coincidence. Still, to be sure, she sent the clips to a trusted medium and is currently awaiting a full reading. But the fact that the dog is growling like this is enough reason to consider other possibilities. Because dogs often detect dark spirits faster than humans, and growling, especially at a fixed spot, is a classic sign of a dark presence. We can't say for sure what it is yet, but I think we can all agree on one thing. There's certainly a spirit in that house. The following video was captured by a man named Sam, who has been experiencing some seriously disturbing activity around his property. He'll suddenly see shadows moving across his hallway and footprints on the porch when no one is visited. One night, he heard loud banging and metallic clattering coming from his shed, so he grabbed his phone and went to check it out, and this is what he captured.
Something is banging around and making noise in one of our sheds. I'm not really sure what to expect. I'm gonna go check it out.
While filming, he suddenly felt a sharp presence, like someone was right behind him, and if you watch closely, you'll notice a figure already in front of his house. Sam ran as fast as he could and even tripped many times before reaching the door, and when he finally reached the door, he found it locked. The same door he had literally just opened. He struggled with the knob for over 30 minutes before it finally let him back in. The next morning, a locksmith checked the door and found nothing wrong, but the same thing keeps happening night after night. The banging in the shed, the icy brush of something moving past him, the shadowy figure approaching the door, and always the door refusing to open until it's too late. Sam sent the footage to a group of paranormal investigators, and according to them, someone may have died in that shed years ago. They're still digging into the property's history and working on a way to release whatever spirit is trapped there. This next clip was recorded by a woman named Saudra, who recently moved into her late mother's house after her passing. A few weeks after she settled in, the familiar smell of her mother's favorite perfume would suddenly fill the room. The kitchen light would flicker the same way it used to when her mom cooked late at night, and the bedroom door is always slightly opened each morning, no matter how firmly she shut it the night before. But the most persistent thing? The drawer in her mom's old room, which kept opening on its own. One morning, as Saudra was getting ready for work, she caught this on camera.
Keep happening in my house since my mom passed away. Like why? I looked underneath the drawer, I looked behind it, there's nothing making it pop out. it seems like it's when I bring up my mom that something happens. Mom? Okay, it's fucking weird.
She's had that drawer checked, but every single person she's called to repair it says the same thing. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. Viewers quickly flooded the comments, suggesting maybe it was her mother trying to get her attention or pointing her towards something important hidden inside the drawer. So Saudra opened the drawer, and this is what she found.
Okay, let's do it. I don't know what could be in this drawer. I have my bathing suits and stuff. Halloween shorts that I need to put my Halloween stuff. Lingerie. Phone case. My Magnificent Fizz. My bells are just like, I don't know, clear room or something, I don't know. A lot of ducks for my cruise. I went on a cruise last year and I left over ones. Dog's bandana. Bra. What's this? Something my daughter got me. So I do think that this is it, if it is anything, but I'm kind of feeling like this is. I found this note that I'm going to post on top of here from my mom. And then I listen to what this plays.
This clip left so many people emotional, and it's easy to see why. Saudra says she still misses her mother every single day, but now she's at peace that what she's been experiencing isn't haunting, but a quiet reminder from her mother's spirit. If you've ever lost someone close to your heart, you'll understand how the heart aches for just one more moment and one sign to know they're still around, watching over you. That longing is what keeps many going, and for Blair Bathory, a young mother who lost her daughter, that sign came in several ways. On more than one occasion, she'd wake up to find music playing from a jewelry box that hasn't worked since the funeral. But the moment that convinced her it had to be her daughter reaching out was the day she visited her daughter's graveside. And this happened.
I love you. Let me know that you're safe with Grandpa Lynn and Auntie Vanessa, Grandma Ernie. Let me know that you're safe with them, Bean. Spin it if you're safe. Spin it. Show me, baby. Please show me a sign. Show me, baby. Oh, thank you. I love you.
Skeptics may call it the wind or coincidence, but for Blair, with everything else she's seen and felt, this moment confirmed her daughter's spirit is still reaching out. This next clip was recorded by Mateo, who spent the weekend at his mother's house to spend some quality time with his family, especially after their grandfather died 2 years ago. According to his mom and younger siblings, things haven't been the same since he died, and strange things always start happening around the time of his death anniversary. That night they were preparing to have dinner when his mom suddenly felt a heavy presence, like someone else had entered the room. Mateo thought they were teasing him, until this happened.
Okay, so tell him, Mom.
Pues ahorita voy a ver porque mi papá creo que está aquí cuidándome, cuidando a mis hijos y creo que él sí me está escuchando.
Okay, do it.
Pa, si me estás escuchando y estás aquí con nosotros, abre la puerta.
That's the second time. Explain, the door's closed.
La puerta estaba cerrada.
Okay, close it again so we can do it one more time.
Y voy a...
I'm gonna try it one more time, guys. Go, Mom.
Okay, pa.
And we're gonna show you guys that we're not lying. Push on it, Brianna. Hard. My mom.
How are you recording me?
What makes this so disturbing is that the doorknob didn't even turn, and with the timing, it's hard not to think a spirit is trying to make its presence known. But not everyone agrees it's the grandfather's spirit. They're convinced it's a darker entity, possibly even demonic. They claim that spirits that grow stronger around anniversaries, especially when accompanied by sudden cold drafts or door manipulations, are rarely peaceful and mostly demonic. Tiffany has always been the type to talk about ghost stories, and friends even joke that she's a walking encyclopedia for all things paranormal. But despite her fascination, she had never experienced anything personally, until one day she was cleaning her house totally alone when this happened.
Alright, I'm kind of freaking out a little bit. I am cleaning. Ignore this, my band-aid wouldn't stay on, so I taped it, but in the middle of cleaning, I hear like a door shut, and I'm whispering because I'm kind of weirded out. Louis in the living room by himself, but I hear this door slam, and then I swear I thought I heard like me say like hello or hey or something. So I'm trying to wait and see if it does it again because I'm a nervous laugher, so.
If you listen closely, you'll hear someone say hello, but what makes it truly unsettling is that it sounds like her, and you know what they say about hearing your own voice. Many experts claim it's linked to what they call a mimic spirit, an entity that impersonates the living in order to frighten or establish control. In some cases, it's seen as a sign the spirit is trying to attach itself to the person it's mimicking, and for someone who knows as much as Tiffany does, she's not taking chances, so she's making arrangements to have her entire house cleansed. Marissa had always noticed something strange about her daughter's behavior, like the little girl quietly having a full-blown conversation with absolutely no one around, or sometimes yelling like she was trying to prove a point. It became unbearable when her daughter would wake up in the middle of the night, pointing at corners of the room, whispering, "She's back." At this point, Marissa decided to install cameras in the kitchen, living room, and bedroom, and this is what one of the cameras captured. If you watch closely, you'll see that the little girl isn't just grabbing her toys, she's using so much force as if she's yanking them from someone else. And when a child interacts with a spirit, especially one that fights over objects, it's a clear sign of a territorial presence, possibly a spirit child, or worse, something pretending to be one. And the fact that her daughter is the only one who sees it, that's even more terrifying. Marissa has sent the footage to a ghost hunter, and the case is under review. Let's hope she and her daughter get the help they need before the spirit decides it wants more than just the toys. The following clip is about Sapphire, a woman who has carved out an eerie niche for herself, collecting and sharing stories about haunted dolls. Her channel is filled with unsettling encounters, chilling legends, and strange energies that seem to surround these dolls the moment they arrive in her home. Most of the dolls come from online marketplaces like eBay, where she either adopts or purchases items believed to be spiritually active. And if you're wondering, yes, she talks to them. One afternoon, she sat down for a session with one of the newest additions to her collection, and this is what she captured on camera.
Christy, can you show me your hair right now? Good job. Can you touch your favorite tool? Definitely the REM pod. Can you turn that off? Can you turn it back on? Good job. Can you hold it down in your favorite color, honey? It's black, but you said green. And green, black and green. Wow, that's going really fast. The sweep rate. Were you in the army? You can use these words in this app to communicate anything you want to me. Are you able to piece them together to tell me how you passed away? Ammo? Is somebody SHOOT you? Yeah. Are you 28? Christy, how can I help you? Is there anything you want to tell me right now?
The spirit's answers were emotional, specific, and disturbingly real. Now, here's the thing about haunted dolls. Paranormal experts believe that spirits, especially those that died young or under traumatic circumstances, can latch onto objects, and dolls, with their human-like features and emotional symbolism, become the perfect vessels. Some spirits stay passive, and others, not so much. Experts warn that once a spirit attaches to a doll, it can become a conduit, allowing supernatural energy to pass between worlds. And in more extreme cases, these spirits don't just remain in the doll, they begin to hunt the space around them. The following video is about a lady called Melissa who has been hearing voices for months now, voices so soft it's easy to miss, like someone murmuring just behind her shoulder. But every time she turns, no one's there, and she even went to the extent of asking people nearby if they said anything to her, but the answer was always no. She eventually ignored it, brushing it off as stress or imagination, but that all changed after what happened the evening she returned from visiting a distant relative. She got home, stepped out of her car, and heard something.
Hello. Oh, Jesus Christ, who said that? Huh? Oh. Oh, God. Oh.
Before you assume it was the doorbell, keep in mind she doesn't have one. Also, she came home alone, and the only other living thing in that house was her golden fish. The sound came out of nowhere, and after this latest incident, she finally allowed herself to believe what she had been trying so hard to ignore. Something was following her. She uploaded the footage online, and not long after, reached out to a local ghost hunter who immediately scheduled her for a full spiritual consultation. Melissa is now sleeping with salt by the door and mirrors covered, a classic protection method advised by her spiritual experts till they find a more permanent solution. If you've ever lost someone close, you'll know this feeling. That quiet sense they're still nearby, watching, maybe even trying to reach out. It's something a lot of us carry. And for Mrs. Collins, that feeling turned into something much more real. She lost her husband just a few months ago, and while grief is always hard, it is what started happening around the house that made things even harder to process. And the moment it began happening around her daughter, she knew she had to do something, so she started recording these moments. Here's what she caught.
Robert. You said, come on. Well, come on, Dad. I ain't scared. Show me where he at. What's up there? Girl. What you, what? What? Girl. She just be doing it. I don't. What's up there, baby? So Daddy followed us to grandma's house. I just turned the camera on, and then, because I see her when she started pointing, she'll point up to the sky.
Mama, Dada.
Where? There's nobody over there right here.
Dada.
Yeah, Dada.
After posting it online, people flooded the comments, but one particular viewer warned her to be careful, that sometimes evil spirits disguise themselves as loved ones. The idea got her attention, so she responded,
So this comment right here caught my eye. You don't mean to be insensitive. That's cool. I'm not taking everything to heart. Just don't lie like the person you commented under. He lied. I don't like that. I can have like a conversation about stuff. But you said that when someone passed, they can't speak with the living. I really don't think he's trying to talk to her. I think he's just showing up. And as weird as it sounds, I do believe she sees something. She's one. I don't feel like she's making up anything. She doesn't know how to make up stuff. I don't know what to tell the people who don't believe, but I truly believe that that's my husband. For people that's calling him a demon, so the demon looks just like my husband is what y'all saying. He don't look scary at all to her. So he just disguises himself as exactly as my husband looks. Because my baby knows her daddy. Also, are there no angelic spirits? It seems like people keep talking about evil spirits. Are there no sweet spirits? Are there no angelic spirits? And also, were these evil spirits not once living? I need somebody to answer that question, especially. I need that question answered because I'm not well versed on a lot of things, so I'm gonna ask questions so I can get more understanding. And I just know I have opened up the comment section to thousands of comments, millions of views, possibly. So I don't mind listening to people with different opinions, different beliefs. It just has to make sense, and it just can't be somebody telling me somebody taught my daughter that. Nobody taught my daughter that.
Mrs. Collins didn't agree with the idea that it was anything dark. To her, what was happening felt comforting, not threatening. But even then, many viewers remained skeptical. Some viewers supported her, while others insisted the energy might not be as friendly as she thinks. Still, she continued to share clips of her daughter talking to her father.
Dada. Mama, Dada.
Where? There's nobody over there right here. What I'm looking at?
No.
This new clip got a different reaction, and even some viewers pointed out that the car alarm that randomly went off in the background was a spiritual sign. According to them, angels are known to trigger alarms and flicker lights, but demons can do that too, right? And then there were those who didn't believe it was paranormal at all and suggested the child had simply been told what to say or was just repeating words she had heard and not interacting with anything unseen. Watch what she had to say about this.
So this comment doesn't really sit well with me, and a couple others as well, but this comment says she doesn't see anyone at all. When he passed, someone has been pointing at the sky saying her dad's in heaven She was taught this: kids see, hear, and repeat. My baby's 1. So no, nobody has told her, your daddy's dead, he's in heaven, look, your daddy's there. We wouldn't do that. She's 1. It's not like she knows he's dead. It's not like she's asking, where's my daddy? She's 1. Nobody's teaching her anything like that. And for her to be 1, she is smart. She is gonna see things, hear things, repeat things, but what you talking about, that's just not the case here. Just say you don't believe that she's seeing him, but don't make up stuff. It's not necessary to make up stuff. Because as far as I know, my baby doesn't know that her dad is dead.
She later told her viewers why she remains confident that her daughter sees her father and not a demon. One night, while folding laundry, she saw her daughter standing in the doorway speaking softly again, so she asked who she was talking to, and her daughter simply said, "Daddy says you shouldn't be sad." Mrs. Collins bursted into tears and later saw something like a shadow slowly rising from the corner of the room and disappearing behind her daughter. Sadly, the moment caught her off guard and she couldn't record it, but she's certain her husband is constantly watching over her and their daughter. Personally, I think the child sees something, we just don't know what, but in the end, that's not for me to decide. So what do you think? Is this a visit from a loved one or a demon pretending to be her father? This next clip was recorded by a woman named Melinda, who had recently moved out of her former home, a place she believed was haunted, to start afresh in a new place. But the moment she settled into her new space with her children, strange things began to happen, and this time they were even harder to ignore. What you're about to see was the final confirmation that whatever haunted her before had followed her.
Come over here. Shit. Oh, what happened?
Dude, run. There's a guy inside.
Okay.
Run. Hey, where's your sister?
She's in her room sleeping.
She's inside?
Yeah.
Dude, look. There's a shadow right there. What the heck? Told you there's somebody in here. Amber, wait, come here.
No.
What's that?
The door just closed over there.
Amber. Baby, come here. Are you in here?
Oh,
dude. I pulled the door back.
Oh my god.
What is that?
No.
Someone's at the front door. What do I do?
Let's go to the front door, Milos.
Dude, nobody's there. No one's at the front door.
Who rang the doorbell then?
It's knocking, but there's nobody there. Dude.
There's no one there.
Should I open it?
No.
The noise is coming back. It's getting louder and louder.
Oh my. Now it's the doorbell again?
What is going on here?
Shadows moving across the hallway like someone was walking through the house, doors slamming on their own, something pulling back just as she reached to open it, lights suddenly going out, doorbell ringing and knocking sounds, all with no one in sight. Now, if it had just been one weird incident, you might be able to brush it off and call it a coincidence, but the timing and the sheer number of strange occurrences all point to one thing. There's a ghost in that house. Just days before this video was taken, her daughter woke up with scratches on her arm, 3 long marks, spaced evenly. Paranormal investigators often note that scratches in threes can symbolize mockery of the Holy Trinity. That same night, Melinda's hallway light was turning on and off repeatedly. Then the smoke detector beeped once before falling completely silent, and nothing in the house was on fire. After this last strange activity that she recorded, Melinda was sure she was dealing with something demonic, so she contacted a local ghost hunter, and they now have a date locked in for a full cleansing. It won't erase what happened, but maybe, just maybe, it'll finally bring her peace, and hopefully this time the spirit stays gone. The following clip was captured by a woman named Clarissa who was returning home one evening with her children after dinner. As she pulled into the driveway and parked the car, something immediately caught her eye. The bedroom light was on. No one was supposed to be home, and she was certain she didn't leave the light on. She asked her kids to stay in the car while she went inside to check, but just as she stepped out, this happened.
So, me and my kid just got back from eating dinner, and my bedroom light is on, which is strange because I don't remember leaving it on.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure I didn't leave it on. Come on. Listen, I'm gonna walk inside real fast. I want you to wait out here for me.
I'll stay right by the door.
Yeah, I want you. Oh my God. Somebody broke into our. Yeah. I don't know.
Mom, go.
Oh. Jaden, yeah, it is. Go next door. Go next door and get your icy, okay? If you hear me scream, y'all hear me scream, call 911.
Okay.
Okay?
For most of us, the light suddenly going off with the image we saw reflecting on the glass would have been enough to turn the car back on and run, but she told her children to go next door and call 911 while she walked into the house. The house was completely torn apart with no one inside. If that's not proof of a ghost, I can't wrap my head around any other reason. What she didn't post online was what she found upstairs. The closet door was wide open, and one of her shoes was placed perfectly in the center of the bed, with the rest of the room untouched. That detail alone gave her chills, and she hasn't entered that room since. She showed the footage to her friends and family, and they believed her, clearly because Clarissa had never been one to exaggerate. Her family members, who were concerned about her safety, contacted a local ghost hunter, and they are in the process of getting rid of the spirit. When you've lived with unexplained things long enough, there comes a point where fear turns into frustration. And for Michael and his teenage son, that point came one evening after months of strange activity in their home. There had been odd noises, cold spots, flickering lights, but it was the basement that always felt different, like something was waiting down there. One evening, they made a decision to go down there themselves and face whatever was hiding in the dark. Michael slipped a pouch of blessed salt and a small crucifix into his pocket, items commonly used for spiritual protection, and together, they locked the basement door behind them.
I'm gonna lock us in. Stop, stay
Hold on. Oh, shit, get. Oh, God. What? No. We gotta get the here. We gotta get out of here. What are we gonna do? No, stop, man. You locked us in. I gotta go. No. We make a break. There's nothing there. Stay by me. Stay right behind me. This is a bad idea. Just chill out. Oh shit, it's still there. Why is it so... What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? I don't know. You got your phone?
No, I don't.
The noise down there was strange and deep, like growls, but what really stood out was the smell. At first it seemed like something rotten, almost like a bad fart, but then it shifted, becoming thick, sharp, and sulfuric. If there's one thing we know, it's that paranormal investigators often say that the smell of sulfur is a sign of demonic presence, easily mistaken at first, but unmistakable once it hits. But maybe, just maybe, the strange noise and smell could be dismissed. What they saw standing still in the corner of the room is proof that whatever happened in that basement wasn't imaginary. It wasn't even residual energy. It was real and it was demonic. The following video was captured by Will, a young TikToker who had been quietly enduring something terrifying until it got so bad he finally decided to speak up. For a while now, he could be in his room and suddenly every appliance would shut off. Lights, fan, even his phone charger, but somehow the TV would remain on. At first, he thought it was just faulty wiring or a glitch, but things got worse. He started experiencing a strange, persistent itch all over, and when he visited multiple hospitals and ran countless tests, every single doctor told him the same thing. We couldn't find any cause. They prescribed antihistamines, skin ointments, but nothing worked, and the itching wouldn't stop. Then one night, while all his roommates were fast asleep upstairs, Will found himself wide awake, partly because of the itching, but mostly because he could feel something was off. So he grabbed his phone and hit record. This is what he caught on camera.
I barely had a lot of sleep. A lot of shit's been going on, all the scratching, all the fucking everything. So I'm recording right now just to hopefully catch something, and if I do, I just want to prove to you guys that I'm actually alone. My roommates are all upstairs, so as soon as something's happening, like I'm just watching the friggin' door, as soon as something's happening, I'm booking it right inside there. I'm gonna film all the space, like everything. I'm gonna close the door right behind me, and I'm gonna make sure that I want to show you guys that I'm actually alone in this. Oh shit. Yo, the lights like turning on and off, bro. The doorknob. Yo, I gotta show you guys I'm actually alone. Look at this bull.
The lights flickered and the doorknob twisted on its own, as if something was trying to get in or out. And when he posted the video online, most of the viewers agreed on one unsettling possibility. If it's itching, it's probably a demon. Also, the doorknob was moving on its own, so it could mean the entity was trying to assert control, a known tactic of malicious spirits to instill fear or break boundaries. Still, not everyone believed him, and a few skeptics commented, why didn't he just go check? Well, Will did go check.
I gotta show you guys I'm actually alone. Look at this bullshit. Look at this bullshit. Look. Turning on the light as soon as I walk in. Okay, closing the door. Yo. I'm telling you, anytime I walk in, there's like literally nobody. This has been going on for like a couple days now, dude. Look, watch. I'll turn on the light. Okay, nobody. Behind the door, nobody. Okay, going through this freaking door, which is just really scary in here. Nobody. Guys, tell me what the is going on.
The room was empty, the lights were manually controlled, and the strangest part, this wasn't even the first time this had happened, and many of those times Will had been completely home alone. A few days later, he returned home from work to an even more terrifying experience.
Oh, I just got home from work. Yeah, this is what I came home to. I'm literally only going to assume that my roommates is trying to pull a prank on me. I'm gonna quickly close this, push all this, close this door behind me, just in case anything happens. What? You serious? They're trying to pull a prank. This is one hell of a prank. Oh shit. Oh hell nah. Hell to the no. Everything. Oh my god. I'm out of here. Yep, I am done.
The entire house was a mess, and at first he wanted to believe it was a prank pulled by one of his roommates, but then he noticed something unusual, a creepy, old-fashioned doll. Shortly after seeing this, things spiraled out of control. Will was certain this time a spirit was living in that house with them, so later that evening, he set up a camera in the exact room where most of the strange activity seemed to happen, and what the footage revealed was disturbing.
Alright. Let's get you on camera.
Exactly 2 hours and 18 minutes in, it began. First the lights, then the cabinet doors started opening and slamming over and over again, with no one in the room. After seeing this, Will wasted no time and reached out to a spiritualist for protection, and after a thorough investigation, he learned something shocking. His roommates had also been experiencing strange things for months, but they always assumed it was one of the others playing a prank. Even worse, the house had a history. The previous resident had packed up and left without notice, and never told anyone why. Now, it was all starting to make sense. We hope the protection Will and his roommates received is strong enough to drive this angry spirit out for good. You know how people always say a fresh start fixes everything? New job, new town, new place to live. It sounds good on paper, but for Kenny, that fresh start came with something no one could have warned him about. From the moment he settled in, little things began to feel off, like his phone alarm ringing every night at 3:07 a.m., even when he didn't set it. And the mirrors? They fogged up with handprints too large for a child and too small to be his. Also, his bathroom sink would be filled with dead beetles. But everything changed one morning at 4 a.m. when he was lying in bed, contemplating whether to get up for work or call in sick.
There's somebody banging on my door here. Who's there? Who's there? Who's there? Who? What the? Holy f***, creeps me out, man. What the?
If you listen carefully, just before Kenny opens the door, you'll hear a faint woman's voice, but when he opened the door, no one's there. As the new guy in town, this rattled him, so he told his neighbor about it, and pretty soon, the story spread. Then, one day, on his way home from work, a strange woman walked up to him slowly, then looked straight at him and whispered, "Leave." Kenny turned to see if anyone saw what happened, but when he looked back, she was gone. She vanished, like she'd never been there. He looked around to ask a few people standing close to him if they had seen her, but they all said the same thing. "We didn't see anyone. You must be imagining things. That night, Kenny packed every single thing he owned in that house and never went back. And honestly, I doubt a single one of you would be unfazed in a situation like this. This next clip was recorded by a man named Dan, a new convert who had been enduring terrifying, unexplained experiences in his home for several months. At night, Dan would wake up with his entire body frozen, as if something heavy was sitting on his chest. Other nights, he'll hear scratching, not just on the walls, but under his bed, in the ceiling, and sometimes right beside his pillow. There were nights when he'd find muddy footprints leading from his front door to his bedroom, footprints that didn't match any of his shoes. Eventually, the lack of sleep and growing fear began to change him. He became withdrawn, and people at work noticed he was different, more anxious, more distracted, sometimes even confused, but they all thought he was depressed. Eventually, a concerned friend brought him to a spiritual guardian who listened quietly, then gave Daniel very specific instructions on what to do. One night, he got up ready to face his greatest fear at the moment, and this is what happened.
Ow. Okay, in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, I ask you, Jesus, for healing in this home. I ask you to take these demons away from my house.
What the camera captured was terrifying. Loud bangs, furniture moving without being touched, then the front door opening like something had left. Paranormal experts say demons don't just haunt homes, they break people down, and when confronted, they fight back. In this case, it did, but the prayer clearly affected it, and after the chaos, the entity left, but not without a warning. When Dan posted the footage, one viewer caught something chilling that almost no one noticed. The cross on his wall disappeared, then reappeared upside down. Now, for those unfamiliar, that's not just some coincidence. According to spiritualists, an inverted cross appearing spontaneously is a powerful and clear sign of demonic presence, so this was certainly a demon, and Dan is lucky it walked away. It's always heartbreaking how people with the most peaceful routines end up tangled in unfortunate circumstances, and in Katrina's case, it all started because she unknowingly moved into the wrong house. One quiet morning, she was on her laptop handling work emails when she began hearing strange noises coming from her kitchen. At first, she thought maybe Lucy had knocked something over, but when she glanced at her dog, Lucy wasn't even moving. In fact, she was frozen, eyes locked on the kitchen, ears perked up, and completely still. Something about the way the dog was staring unsettled Katrina. Trusting her instincts, she picked up her phone, hit record, and this is what she captured.
Okay guys, it's just me and Lucy up here. I was just listening to music. I was on the laptop, and we're hearing something in the kitchen. Holy shit, holy shit, holy shit. Come on, Lou, come on. Hello? Hello?
That footage might look subtle to some, a noise here, a flicker there, But for anyone who's ever lived through a real haunting, you know the early signs, and the dog's behavior confirmed it. The days that followed were even more unsettling, but all of a sudden, one of the tenants in the building moved out, and the landlord offered Katrina the newly vacated room. After weeks of trying to ignore it, Katrina finally compiled all the footage she had and sent it to a well-known ghost hunter in her city. Now, a date has been set for the house to be cleansed. This next clip was recorded by two friends who had flown out to Albania for a much-needed vacation, but unfortunately, whatever has been haunting them all year didn't think they deserved a break. One quiet afternoon, they were relaxing, and a few moments later, they heard footsteps coming from upstairs. They grabbed their phone, started recording, and then this happened.
I got something in this for you.
That happened a few hours ago, guys. Me and my mate have been followed abroad. We went to Germany. There was activity, so we've come over to Albania for the second half of the holiday. Something's followed us over. Last night there was banging on the upstairs. This morning we've seen shadows on the stairs coming down. So we've set the camera up. You've seen what happened there, guys.
Now, if they looked slightly too calm for what just happened, there's a reason. They weren't shocked because they knew what it was, as this wasn't their first encounter. The truth is, this spirit has been tormenting them since the beginning of the year with strange dreams, sleep paralysis, scratch marks on their backs, bruises on their legs, and more than once, they've woken up with nosebleeds and burning sensations, as if something unseen was attacking them in their sleep. And now, even on vacation, it followed them. After this last incident, they finally reached out to a ghost hunter, sent him the clip, and that was enough to get them an urgent appointment. We sincerely wish them the best in banishing this long-serving spirit. The following video was captured by Danny in her home, and as much as skeptics might say otherwise, she's pretty sure what they're dealing with is a ghost. One afternoon, Danny left for her usual shift at work and asked her mom to stay over and watch her 2-year-old daughter, Mimi. The two were having some innocent granny and daughter time when something truly unbelievable happened.
You're so funny. I can't wait until summer gets here so we can go outside and play.
I miss Mimi.
I miss you too. I miss you too. What? Coming. What? Who's coming?
Here coming.
Who?
Him.
You see somebody back there?
Him.
Who?
Him.
Him?
Yeah.
Where's he at? Is he in our house?
Yeah.
Where? Show me. Where's he at? He's right in front of you?
Yep.
Who is it?
A guy.
Who's there, mister? What are you doing in our... Where's he at? The dining room?
Yeah.
Show me him. Go show me him. Give me your hand. Take me to him.
This him.
Take me to him. Show me.
This him.
Wait, let me... Show me. Is he right here?
Yep.
He's in our dining room?
Yeah.
What are you doing in our dining room, mister? What does he look like?
I bug.
He's got bug eyes?
Yeah.
What are you doing in our living room, mister? Get. You go back home. You go back wherever you came from. What's he doing? Come on, you're creeping me out. We're going upstairs. Come on. You're scaring me. We're going upstairs. Yeah, you're scaring me. We're going upstairs. You are...
The little girl looked visibly terrified, and her tiny voice later described it perfectly. He's got bug eyes. And at that age, you don't just make that kind of detail up. Thankfully, the home security camera captured everything, so Danny sent the footage to a local ghost hunter, and the case is currently under review. We can only hope she receives the help she deserves, especially because her daughter still hasn't stopped talking about the man with the bug eyes. You know how people say, you get used to anything if it happens long enough? That might be true, but not when it comes to ghosts. A group of friends have dealt with strange occurrences at their workplace for months, unexplainable noises when no one is around, footsteps echoing from empty rooms, and doors that seem to close on their own. It became a part of their routine, as strange as that sounds, but one day, something finally happened that they couldn't ignore. Take a look at the kind of stuff they had to deal with every day.
Chloe, you're gonna have to go and have a look. Honestly. Please.
Don't fucking go there.
I am.
I'm here.
No, we're the only ones here.
Hello? Hello?
Oh! No! Oh my, Chloe, go in, Chloe. Go in.
There's actually no one in here.
No, wait. I'll have a look at the bar now. What the hell?
With objects moving on their own and no one visibly nearby, this was clearly a paranormal activity, and for the first time, they caught it on camera. They showed the footage to their manager, hoping for answers, but instead of taking action, he brushed it off, and that's when they started to suspect he might know more than he's letting on. Feeling unsafe, the women met with a paranormal expert, who gave them iron rings and black salt pouches, items said to ward off dark entities and trap restless spirits. Now they carry it to work and keep it close at all times. Hopefully, it's enough, because if it's not, they may have no choice but to leave. The man in the next clip, Alejandro Torres from Seville, Spain, found himself trapped in what can only be described as a haunted living space. Around 3 a.m., during what many call the devil's hour, he began hearing strange noises from his bathroom. Curious but unsettled, he started recording.
3 a.m. De vuelta se escuchan los ruidos en la... Ahí está. Ya no sé qué hacer. Alguien que me diga qué hacer. ¿Cómo querés que te ayude? Ya no sé qué hacer. ¿Cómo querés que te ayude? Yo ya no sé qué hacer. Ya no sé cómo vivir con esto. Si están escuchando susurros, esto nunca había escuchado. Voy a acercarme para... ¿Quién sos? Déjame tranquilo. Ya no sé qué hacer. Ya no sé qué hacer. No sé qué hacer.
Right outside his restroom, you can see the door handle violently shaking, like someone or something was trapped inside. Then a blood-curdling scream, as if whatever was inside was being tormented and desperately wanted release. He checked every corner of his house. No one was there, but the air felt heavy, like he was being watched. Then things escalated.
Si están escuchando ruidos acá, ahí dejaron de hablar. Hace días que vengo escuchando ruidos acá. Ya no sé cómo... Se cayó de acá un botín. Ya, y bueno, a estas alturas, miedo ya no tengo. Concha de su madre. Esos hijos de puta. El coche yo no lo dejo ahí aparte. Siempre aparece el coche en cualquier lado. Ya no sé qué. Benji, vení acá. Vení, Benji, acá. Se me desvanecen las piernas ya. Ya no sé cómo vivir. Ven, Cami, vení conmigo. No te vayas, vení. Quédate acá. Quédate acá. Deja de ladrar, quédate acá. ¿A dónde estás mirando, Cami? Vení acá, ven, Cami. Andate, hijo de puta.
Objects started moving on their own. Items he knew he placed one way were suddenly somewhere else, and his dog started barking at empty spaces like it could see something he couldn't. And the most disturbing part, the moment he saw a face, an unnatural image on the door, but by the time he looked away to get something to defend himself, the image was gone. The scariest part is, this wasn't a one-time occurrence. It had been happening for weeks, but on March 27th, 2024, it returned, louder, stronger, and darker.
¿Cómo la busco? ¿Dónde querés que la busque? Déjame en paz. ¿Cómo que está cerca? ¿El campo qué?
Just like previous times, it started with the same sounds, the same door, only this time it was louder and more deliberate. Desperate for answers, Alejandro compiled his footage and contacted spiritual experts, and after reviewing everything, they confirmed what he feared most. There was a powerful demonic entity living in the house. They fixed a date to perform some cleansing rituals, but until the energy is fully removed, Alejandro refuses to return to that building. And honestly, can you blame him? Some nurses were on their night shift break when they heard something strange coming from the old ward next door, a room that had not been used for months. But before this day, they've noticed odd events like call buttons lighting up on their own, empty beds creaking like someone had just sat up, and the sound of soft, wheezing breathing coming from rooms with no patients. A few times, nurses claimed to see someone walking into a ward, only to find it completely empty. So on this very day, when they heard the strange noise from the old ward, they tried to ignore it, but the sounds grew louder, so they sent the only male nurse with them at the moment to check it out. And this is what he saw.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead and figure out why the lights are. I don't like that. I don't like that. Do it.
They look like evil eyes. You guys gonna come with me?
Yeah, of course we're gonna go in with you.
Thanks. Ooh, it feels weird. Was that you? Yeah. This room feels weird. I don't like this. Ooh. The curtain moved.
No, it did.
Yeah, it did. It moved.
No,
It moved. It
didn't.
moved. Yes, it did.
Why would a
It
curtain
did.
move?
How did you not see that? Oh, okay.
The curtains were moving even though the windows were closed and there was no fan, and shortly after, things started falling off shelves. One by one, these could be dismissed as coincidence, but all of them together? That's different. With the combination of physical movement, electrical disturbance, and timing, what they caught was more than just a strange coincidence. Something was in that room, and for a ward that hadn't seen a patient in weeks, there's only one explanation. A lingering spirit was present, maybe a former patient. This next clip was recorded by Clara's father, after he realized they've been living with something unexplainable that refuses to leave them alone. It started small with sounds of dripping water from taps that weren't on, lights dimming whenever she walked into a room, strange burn marks appearing on the walls with no heat source nearby. Unwilling to accept reality, they convinced themselves it was faulty wiring, old pipes, maybe even a prank. But on this particular Monday morning, all logic failed. Clara was getting ready for a big presentation, and her dad offered to record her for practice. The moment she began speaking, this happened.
1, 2, 3, go. Okay na? Now that I have introduced myself to the patient, verified the client's... Now that I have introduced myself to the patient, explained the procedure, and asked for his consent, verified the client's identity, and...
Ano ito?
Sige pa, sige na. O, tara. 1, 2, 3, go. Now that I have introduced myself to the patient,
She tried to brush it off, but then it happened again. And this time, it was more terrifying. Since then, her father has compiled every strange event caught on camera, and they're now seeking serious help to get rid of whatever spirit in their home. We hope her presentation still went well after that kind of experience. Some people say mornings are the safest time of the day, like whatever's out there rests when the sun comes up. But for Jorge, that quiet morning was anything but safe. It was a quiet morning, and Jorge was lying in bed, scrolling through his phone like usual, just enjoying the calm. Without warning, Alexa started playing Tiptoe Through the Tulips, but he hadn't touched anything. At first, he thought it was a glitch, or maybe he triggered it by accident, but the music kept going and something about it didn't feel right. He got out of bed, walked toward the kitchen, took out his camera, and began to film the incident when this happened.
What the Oh, What the What the fuck? Alexa! Stop the music! Alexa, stop! What the In the name of Jesus Christ, I ask you to leave this house right now. What the Who goes there? Somebody's in there, you better come out right now. I got a knife on me right now. Come out right now. Oh, in the name of Jesus Christ. I ask you to come out. Who's in here? Who's in here right now? You better come out.
He heard the sound of children laughing and running, but Jorge doesn't have kids. The next thing was a high-pitched scream that was very sharp and unmistakably human. He followed the sound, trying to trace where it was coming from, and just as he reached for the door, it slammed shut. Then another scream followed, but this time it was louder and angrier. Jorge ran out of the house and drove straight to his local church seeking help, and honestly, he'll need more than luck, but we hope he gets all the help he needs. Because despite being absent, neighbors still report music, laughter, and that same growling voice echoing through the walls. The following video was captured in a hotel in Manchester, and back when this incident in the video I'm about to show you happened, the security man had to quit his job because the entire hotel was pretty bad with activity. On this day, there were reports that there were screams from room 209, and no one checked into the room, so John, the security man, had to go up to have a look.
It's room 209. Amy says nobody's checked into that room, and there's reports of screaming coming from that room. Amy, he's on his way down there right now. What's going on, John? There's no one checked into that room. There should be nobody in there. Wait 1 second, John. Amy, are you there? Yeah, John says he hears the screaming coming from that room. And I hear it too. But we're sure that no one's checked into that room. Correct? John, just wait. We're gonna get a hold of the police. So, I would wait for the police, John. Amy, John's gonna enter the room real quick just to check, make sure, see what's going on. Wait one. John? John, are you there? Okay, Amy, John wants you to call the police right now if you don't mind. He says no one's in there, but that all of the furniture's been turned upside down and the hold on. He says the carpet's been ripped up and that the shower is on, but nobody's in there. Man, that's scary. I'm officially freaked out now.
John was supposed to wait for the police, but curiosity got the better of him, and if you look closely, you'll see something like a shadowy figure leaving the room. Also, with the way they saw everything in the room upside down, the only explanation is that there was a paranormal entity active in that room. The hotel ran a full investigation, but soon everything became silent. John, on the other hand, couldn't let it go. He went back to review the footage, and when he saw the figure moving just outside room 209, he knew this was certainly a ghost. The following video was captured by Callie Payne after weeks of experiencing unexplainable events in her apartment. One night, she heard scratching, like fingernails dragging across the walls from inside. Another day, it's the sound of someone pacing on her balcony, even when it's empty. But on this particular morning, shortly after finishing breakfast, she caught this on camera.
Oh my god.
Now, this wasn't the first time her front door had opened and slammed itself shut. In fact, after the first incident, she called an artisan to inspect the hinges, the alignment, even the air vents. Nothing was wrong, and there was no logical reason for the way that door moved. With everything else that's been happening, like footsteps, cold drafts in sealed rooms, flickering hallway lights that seem to respond to movement, there's only one explanation that makes sense. There's a spirit in that apartment. She's planning to sage the entire place, and we can only hope it's enough to send the spirit back to where it came from. This next clip was recorded by an adventurous woman named Amber Nicole, who isn't new to paranormal activities, so she didn't think twice before signing the lease on her new apartment, even after learning what happened there. The previous tenants had lost their mother in that very house, and according to them, her spirit never really left. Every night, at the exact time she passed, strange sounds echoed through the home, soft moaning, then tapping, sometimes a sharp knock. Objects would shift slightly, drawers would click open on their own, but they couldn't take it, so they left. This information didn't bother Amber, so she picked the place anyway, and for the first week, the only thing she had to deal with was the noises. Her best bet was headphones, so she simply wore headphones when they began, but after a few days, other activities started. One afternoon while she was trying to prepare lunch, this happened. Amber believes the spirit of the mother still has strong opinions, especially about how she runs the house. She's convinced that the ghost hates when she leaves the refrigerator door open, and it's not just that. If she places items in the wrong spot, like putting the sugar jar on the wrong counter or misplacing the kitchen towels, before she even turns back around, they're back where the ghost seems to want them. To Amber, this isn't haunting. It's a housemate with very firm rules. And as far as she's concerned, they found a rhythm, and she's content living with the spirit, and honestly, we just hope it stays this way. You ever get that feeling that a house picked you instead of the other way around? That's how Kyle Anthony described it after moving into his new place. It looked normal enough, but something about it just didn't sit right. He'd hear knocking sounds from nowhere and faint voices always at night, but the house was old, so he concluded it was the structure settling, until one day, curiosity got the better of him. He realized he'd never actually checked the attic, so he grabbed a flashlight and found a creepy old doll, a rusted tin bowl filled with plastic eyeballs, and a small trinket box that rattled when he shook it, but wouldn't open. There were other odd objects too, things he couldn't even explain, all just sitting there, untouched. But everything changed one night at exactly 3:45 a.m. when the knocking returned, louder than ever. Then, a man's voice whispered, "It's almost time." Kyle grabbed his camera and stepped out to check. This is what he caught.
Gosh dang it, kitty. Man, I guess we're getting no sleep tonight, y'all. I got woken up a little while ago. As you can see, there was knocking sounds. I heard a voice. What woke me up was, I swear I heard something say, "It's almost time." It's almost time. It was a man's voice. And then I started hearing knocking, so I got up, started going around through the house, turned on the lights on, and you heard some of it. It just keeps happening, it keeps happening, it keeps happening. I swear. What? I guess I'm just gonna be staying up now. Let's see what time it is. 3:45 a.m. All right. I guess we're just gonna be up for the day now.
What really caught people off guard in this footage was the cats. They were calm, completely unfazed, and that confused a lot of people, because cats are known to be highly sensitive to spiritual energy. But here's a possibility. In rare cases, experts say that when a spirit is old, like very old, its energy can become almost residual, like part of the house itself. Some also believe cats are spiritual protectors and are able to detect negative energy, but not always disturbed by it unless it poses a threat. The video was sent to the ghost hunter and is pending review. We can only hope that Kyle receives the help he deserves. This next clip was recorded by a woman named Claire, who recently bought an old barn on the edge of town. It seemed like a dream come true, quiet, private, and perfect for her horses, but every time she went there, it always felt like she wasn't alone. One night, she decided to bring her camera with her, just in case, and this is what she caught. If you listen closely, just before the video ends, there's a whisper, soft and quick, but she swears she was completely alone. And that's not the only strange part. She pointed out that her horse is usually calm and friendly, but this night he was suddenly antsy, stomping, breathing hard, and refusing to go near the far end of the barn. It's often said that animals, especially horses, are incredibly sensitive to spiritual energy, and when they act like that for no visible reason, it means they're sensing something you can't. Claire has now contacted a local investigator, and they're digging into the history of the barn. Not many people would go ahead and live in a house that's surrounded by haunting rumors, so we have to give Lila some credit, because despite everything she'd heard, she moved into her parents' old apartment, fully aware of the stories. According to locals, a man named Ray took his own life in that house back in 1969, and ever since then, people who live nearby have always said there was something off about that place. Every night since she moved in, a shadowy figure of a man stands at her bedroom door. Doors creak open on their own, despite the house being locked tight, and Lila says she sometimes hears dragging footsteps in the hallway, like someone pacing restlessly, waiting, and she wakes up with the distinct scent of men's vintage cologne lingering in her room, even though no one had visited. One night after coming home from work, this happened.
Ray? Hello?
What makes this clip even more disturbing is that the lamp she captured wasn't even plugged into any power source, and with her dog barking at the exact same hour each night, always in the direction of the hallway where the shadow stands, Lila's convinced Ray's ghost is still in the house. She's already contacted a medium to help her figure out what he wants. We hope she gets answers before the visits become something more. Tom recently took a trip to St. Augustine, a city with a long, haunted history, and while he was there, he decided to sign up for one of those ghost investigation tours. But here's the thing, he ended up being the only person on the tour besides the guide. The guide took him to an old building that had once served as a colonial jail, and in one of the rooms where they stopped to rest, this happened. You can clearly see the flashlight turned on by itself, then slowly rolled off the table like someone invisible gave it a little nudge. That night, Tom barely slept, because no matter where he placed that flashlight, in his bag, in the drawer, even on a windowsill, it always ended up back on the floor. But that wasn't even the worst part. He says the whispers he heard got louder the closer it got to 3 a.m. And there was this constant, rhythmic tapping, like fingernails scratching lightly along the metal bed frame, that didn't stop until sunrise. To make it even creepier, his phone's voice recorder, which he hadn't touched, activated on its own, and when he checked the file, there were no voices, just whispers in a language he couldn't recognize, like chanting. With everything he experienced that night, Tom is convinced there was a ghost, maybe several in that room, and after what happened, he's not sure he'll ever do a solo ghost tour again. The following clips were recorded by Abby's family who, instead of a Merry Christmas, got a terrifying one. They were decorating the attic for storage when they found an old, dusty photo album filled with black and white portraits of people no one in the family recognized, and most of the faces had their eyes scratched out. A few days after Christmas, Abby was alone in the living room when she decided to set up her camera, and this is what she caught. If you listen closely, you'll hear a faint whisper, then the chair starts moving on its own. The family's aware they're not alone in the house, and while skeptics online were quick to say it looked staged, Abby decided to respond directly.
So I got a lot of replies like this one, and I just chose one to reply to. I'm not trying to pick on anybody. I'm not trying to fight with anybody. If someone doesn't think this is real or that there is a ghost or whatever, that is fine. Not everyone believes in ghosts. In fact, I didn't believe in ghosts before this happened to me, or not everyone is going to believe everything that someone posts on the internet, and that's fine. I don't have enough time to argue with people. My husband did not just get out of that chair. He was actually coming from the back of the house where he was putting away laundry and was walking through that hallway. I didn't make that as clear like in the first video when I said he was putting laundry away. I meant to say like he was back there. He was not in that living room with me, sitting in that chair. I know a lot of people, for good reason, are worried about me still being in this house and everything. I'm no longer afraid of the ghost or spirit. We'll call her Gertie. I'm pretty sure I know who she is. I have seen her. I won't talk about that right this second because I don't want this video to be like super long. I'm just trying to answer some quick questions, but I originally was afraid of her. I'm not now. I think that she's a good person and that she's just there to maybe like enjoy Christmas. She only shows up around Christmas time when Christmas decorations are out. So I think that she just really likes Christmas and like seeing my kids enjoy the holidays. She had a lot of kids, if it's who I think she was. Who I think she is there were 2 previous owners before we lived here, and one of them was, I think I replied to a comment where someone said that they thought it was a person in their mid to late 40s, a lady in their mid to late 40s, and I said, oh my gosh, that's the same age as the lady that passed when she lived here. I was wrong about that. She was actually 56 when she passed, but close enough. And they had built this house, her and her husband, and she didn't really get a chance to live in it very long before she passed away. She passed away in the late 80s, so I have no idea. I have searched to see how she passed or anything about her, to see a picture or whatever, and I cannot find one. I have a friend who's a better internet sleuth than I am on it, so maybe we'll find out some more information. But yeah, that's who I think she is, and I do not think that she is harmful. If you have any other questions, specific questions, go ahead and ask them in the comments. It's very hard for me to make a bunch of content. I'm a stay-at-home mom to a toddler, and I have 2 older kids in school, so I'm constantly running them around. So when I have time, TikTok is just for fun for me. I will make videos and try to answer all your questions. But thanks so much for having some interest in my ghost stories. I know a lot of people like to hear this kind of thing, which is why I decided to throw it out here on TikTok.
Interestingly, a few viewers backed up her story, claiming they'd heard about the history of the house and its former owners. While it might seem odd to some that her family is staying put and getting used to the paranormal activity, others can't help but ask, what happens when the ghost gets angry? Well, we wish them luck.